You are going to fail in life. It's inevitable. But the most important thing is that you fail forward. You continue to grow and you continue to move forward in the direction of your soul's vision, like of your higher vision of life, of your true passion, your purpose, the thing that drives you, the thing, that fire inside of you that is pushing you. So often, people get so stuck in their heads, in their emotions, in all of these things, and especially when it comes to business or something that they're doing in their life, when they fail, oftentimes the natural instinct is for them to quit and to give up. But the moment you do this, that's the moment that you lose. I'm Cody, and I help people activate their divine consciousness codes that'll ignite their heart ablaze and open the door to limitless possibilities. The most important thing in your life is not necessarily what you do, and it's definitely not what you have, but it's who you become. And who you become is a result of your experiences. It is a result of your past and of your thoughts and of your feelings and your actions and all these things that have led to the culmination of how you see yourself and how you see your life. And these things create the world for which we live in, for the life that we have manifested. The life that we are currently living is the life that we have created for ourselves, because our minds are like, it's like a hall of mirrors, because the brain is simply trying to decipher what's going on here, and really there's all these energy and frequency and all these things that the brain has to take in order to convert it through our senses in a way that we can interpret and understand what is going on in this physical world. Because ultimately, if you look into, I'm not going to get into it in this video, but if you look into like the holographic universe, really everything is just a projection of our minds, because our brains create the sensory experience, the reality that we perceive. And all of us together, just like the 100th monkey effect, how when one group of a species does something, it's when the 100 monkeys on an island did something, then the monkeys on the other island simultaneously picked up that information, as if to download it directly from source, from this collective consciousness that we're all tapping into. And so it's this very concept, this very idea that we essentially create our external reality collectively, but also individually. So the life that we are living is a collection of our individual experiences that have led to us being where we're at now. And everything that you think dictates the actions that you take. So what I want to say is that it's important for us to remember that when we have setbacks in life, when we fall down, when we have things that don't go the way that we see them going in our mind, or sometimes life just takes a drastic turn that we're not even expecting. But it's important for us in those moments, in those defining moments, to step into that, to step into it and to observe and understand what is truly happening within us, what is trying to come out and be shown to us to help us better understand who we are. These experiences are not happening in order to hold you back. They're not happening for the sole reason to hurt you or to keep you bound or stuck. Because something I have learned is that through every one of our fears is the treasure that we are seeking. I want you to think about that. Because our deepest fears often house our deepest desires. The things that we truly want in life can only be obtained when we conquer those fears. When we push through and we activate that fire within us to give us the strength, to give us the courage, to allow us to see to see in the future, to have that vision, to understand how to move forward and how to move into that direction. Our fears are like a guide stone to show us where we need to go, where we need to focus our attention. And it's not to say that you necessarily have to face your fears directly, because a lot of the fears that we have aren't even conscious. A lot of the fears that we have are hidden deep under layers and layers and layers of programming and of conscious beliefs and subconscious beliefs and things that we don't even see or we aren't even aware of. And that's why whenever you go through an experience in your life, whether it be a relationship that didn't end well, whether it be you losing your job, getting a divorce, something happening where you have to move to a whole new city, or all the above. These, while they may feel like the most awful, intense moments of your life, they're also a chance for you to see something, to see life from a whole new perspective, from a whole new vantage point. But it's more like everything, sometimes in life, everything has to be stripped away before we can see the truth of what is residing within us. To get down to the core, to strip all those layers off, to peel off those masks so that we can see who we truly are. Beyond all these false perceptions, beyond all these fears that we have, beyond all of these identities that we have created to survive. It's up to us to face these fears. And I've been guilty myself. Throughout most of, I'm sure it's, to some level, we all have that feeling where we want somebody to save us because we know the work that we have to put in. I feel like on some level, everybody feels that way, especially since we, as children, can't survive without a caretaker. We can't survive without our parents or grandparents or somebody to take care of us, to feed us, to bathe us, to love us. We physically can't survive. And so when we grow up, a lot of times when we have this unhealed trauma, we carry that into our adult lives. So we carry this into our adult lives because since we weren't able to take care of ourselves as children and we had to survive, or we had to depend on somebody to survive, as adults, when we are looking to start something new or to go into a new business or to have a certain breakthrough, even a mental breakthrough, or just, an obstacle that's really holding you back, a lot of times what we do is we, instead of facing that directly or facing the fear that we are being presented with, or fixing the habit that is creating more of that problem to persist, we look for somebody to give us the answer, or we look for somebody to distract us from having to deal with that. So we're either way, we're not dealing with our problem, because that's what happens in codependent relationships. People they haven't dealt with that trauma, and it carries into their relationships, which that trauma is going to carry into every relationship that we have, which is why it's so important for you to heal that. But another aspect I want to point out is that relationships are one of the most direct mirror that we can experience in our lives. because when I got into my last relationship with my twin flame, we had this it's like we would always trigger each other, and I just didn't understand how to communicate with her. I didn't understand how to get on her level, and it's created this like back and forth, this flow, you know. But at the same time, it's helped me realize and understand and see that I had a lot more unhealed trauma than I realized. Because it all comes to the surface. When something comes into your life and it shows you that perspective of yourself, then you have a choice to either face it or to continue to deny it and run from it. And if you are truly with a divine partner, then they will push you, they will test you, and you will be forced to face these things if you want to grow together. And you know, her and I have had many separations with each other, but what I've learned from that is as we separate, it gives us time to contemplate and understand and reflect on what had happened and what was being reflected back to me. It gave me the space to heal and to integrate what I had learned and to step into a higher version of myself. And then we end up coming back into contact, and then, you know, it's this whole like, it's this, you know, she really activated this fire in me, but at the same time that comes with a lot of backlash too for both of us, because it's like we sparked that within each other, and then it just ignited. There's this divine spark, and after that happened, it was like everything for me personally started to just crumble. It was like my life that I had built, that I was hiding behind, that I had unintentionally created for myself as like a fortress to hide behind, came crumbling down. I mean, within just a few months, my entire life got flipped upside down because I wasn't in alignment with my true self. I wasn't facing those fears, and I knew deep down that I wasn't. I had had coaches up until that point. I had had a couple coaches, and there was something in me that I felt like I just didn't feel like I was showing up. I didn't feel like I was doing the things that I needed to do as a coach, for one, but just as like I felt deeply that I was running from something that I didn't know what I was even running from. It's like there was this deep-seated fear that I had no freaking clue how to face until I got into a relationship, and that brought everything up to the surface. But it gave me the chance. It forced me to deal with these issues, and my life came crumbling down. We separated, and then I ended up having to move back in with my dad, and that was really helpful because I was able to heal those roots that I had, because this is the home that I had lived in my whole life. So it brought me back not only with my family, but in the house that I grew up in. So it gave me the opportunity to heal those things and to continue to move forward. And it took me a while, to be honest. I fancy myself a pretty optimistic person. I tend to always find a way to see a solution, or to see the bigger picture, how it's going to work out in the grand scheme of things in a positive light. But in that moment of darkness, the deepest darkness, where it's just like everything came crashing down, I didn't know what to believe or what to think. I wanted to quit. I didn't know where to go. It was scary. It pushed me, forced me to have to face those fears that I didn't even know that I had up until that point. And then suddenly all these traumas and all these triggers and all these things came rushing back, into my body, into my mind. And then suddenly I started to have to face my childhood things that I hadn't dealt with, things from my dad and my mom. My mom had passed a couple years back, and I was forced to deal with the emotions that I was holding on to, like, that I didn't even realize I was holding on to. And it just brought all this stuff up for me to have to heal. And I felt lost. I felt completely lost. And all I could do was just continue to look for solutions, to continue to push forward. And actually, I went through a funk where I was just playing video games, and it was like I felt so much anxiety that I couldn't focus on anything. Even playing games gave me anxiety. It got to the point where, like, I knew I had to be doing something different. Like, I played games, and I would use it as a way to just kind of process and feel and just, like, take a step back. But after doing that for so long, it started to, like, I would get panic attacks because I knew that I wasn't doing the right thing, and I didn't know how to face it. I didn't know how to deal with it. And it was scary. But what really helped me was as I continued to move forward, options and opportunities opened the door for me to step into. And I knew that that was my chance to take that next step, to step through the door into a higher awareness, a higher part of my purpose. It was my opportunity to fail forward, to continue moving forward, and continue growing into this version of myself that I knew I could be. And it wasn't until everything got taken away and stripped down that I could see that. So when you fail in life, don't give up. Please don't give up. The world needs the gifts that you have. The world needs you. The world needs your medicine, your magic, your beauty. Keep moving forward. Because I promise you, if you do, reach out to whoever you have to. Watch whatever videos you have to that'll lift you up. Sometimes it helps me to watch inspirational, motivational videos if I'm feeling really down. Do whatever it takes to keep moving forward. But just remember your why. What is in your heart? That's what's most important. And ultimately, that is what should be driving you. That is what is driving us. That's the magic that we feel, that fire that pushes us, and we have to follow that. Otherwise, we're going to be robbing ourselves and the world of the beautiful gift and medicine that we have within us. And only we can bring that out. Only we can face those fears within us. It's up to us. It's up to you to push through your own obstacles, to push through your fears, and to see what is possible on the other side for you, to envision a life beyond that, to see a greater vision of yourself and your future and of the world, and to allow that to be your guide stone, not your fears. So if you're ready to take that next step and to move beyond your fears, to start living the life of your purpose, please feel free to reach out or check out my website below. I'd love to help you on this journey, this pilgrimage that we're all on together. I know it's really helped me to see these perspectives, to help me to embody these different energies and to understand what is really truly happening in order to help me move forward and to break free. And all the coaches that I've had over the years and all the personal development work that I've done, it's taken me a long time to get to this point to realize the truth. And to see what I'm truly capable of, to step into that role and to be that version of myself. Thank you for being here on this journey with me. I love you. I'm here for you. I see you. Much love. Peace.